Maize and Blue Nation, it's Tom Brady. I co-founded Autograph with one mission in mind: change the fan experience for the better. That's why I'm excited to announce the release of a new app that recognizes the biggest Michigan fans. The Autograph Fandom app gives you access to the best Michigan content, fan challenges, and exclusive rewards for diehard Wolverines, all for doing the things you already do, like listening to this podcast. Head over to the Apple App Store and search for Autograph Rewarding Fans and download today.
I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro, man. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Anyway, good afternoon. I usually say good evening. Good afternoon, everybody. It is me, the Maize Madman. I got my guy with me, the boxing maniac.
Yes, sir.
I'm upset. Listen, before we get into it, I had a conversation with my guy this morning. He hit me up this morning. He like, yo, wakey, sleepyhead. We got a job to do. Michigan's playing football. It's a Saturday. Let's talk about it. We talked. Yeah. And in that conversation, the maniac dropped some wisdom on me. He said, listen, if any team is going to get blown out today, it's going to be Michigan. Right? Both of us were hoping that didn't happen. Yeah. Both of us had Michigan winning this game coming into it, but the maniac was right. This game was not 31-12 close. If we're being honest with you, not the 31-12 is close at all, by the way. But talk to me, maniac.
Listen, man, let's just, like you said, I'm disappointed. I'm highly disappointed. But you know what? First of all, shout out to Texas, man. Got to give them their credit, give them respect. They came in, they came into the big house and they took care of business. They took care of business. They took it right to Michigan, right? It was kind of a close game. We got 7-0 going into the second quarter. Okay, you know, we right where we want to be. The second quarter just got out of hand. We know the second half, they only scored a touchdown, right? So it wasn't like it was just through from quarter one to quarter four. The problem is, I don't care how good your defense is. If your offense can move the ball, if your offense can score, this is what happens.
No doubt.
Simple as that. And that's an elite team. Texas has a legitimate shot of winning the national championship. Sure. But that can happen to us in 2 weeks against USC. So
for sure. Listen. I don't even want to hold up too much the defense today either, not because those guys aren't elite, by the way. The players are elite. We know what we got on defense. We know position by position what we have. By the way, Quinn Ewers did a very smart thing today. He stayed the hell away from number 2 all day, and he didn't have to go that way because, you know, everything else was available to him. That said, Wink Martindale, we have to have a discussion, sir. So much blitzing. By the way, and we couldn't get much pressure with the front four. But Wink Martindale, sir, it has to be better than this. By all accounts, this defense is as good, maybe better, position by position. I mean, obviously, losing Mikey Sanders still is huge. You can't replace that. Losing Rob Moore before the season, massive. You can't replace that. But everywhere else, what's going on? Let's start from the beginning, though. We're gonna get to your comments in a second. By the way, it's a call-up show. I'm gonna drop the link in. I don't know what I'm doing to myself here, but I'm gonna drop this link in here in the comment section.
No, good. Listen, Yeah. Listen, we listen. You when you win and you lose, we right here, man. We ain't running from nobody. We ain't
We
hiding
ain't
from
ducking no
nobody.
smoke. I'm here. I expect it. I know they're going crazy on Twitter on me. I've already got the tweets. I haven't responded to anybody yet. Shout out to Sean. I know he's waiting on it. But yeah, here we go. Beginning of the game. Melo's here. Shout out to Melo.
Yeah, Mello. Go ahead, celebrate, man. Cause
Celebrate.
they don't play a real team to like January, so they are right.
Crazy. Right. We come out the gate. The defense is bending on the first drive of the game, right? They come right down the field. If it's not for a penalty, a holding call, it's a touchdown on drive number 1. But we get lucky, get the holding call, then they miss the field goal. Feeling decent about ourselves, we go out on offense. Don't do a thing with the football. They get it back, duplicate what they did the first drive, except this time it ends in 7. What were your thoughts there? We got my guy Eddie Kane is waiting to get on. Eddie, we're gonna bring you on right after the Maniac Talks.
I just tell you this, man. Steve Sarkisian, man, they dialed it up, man. They didn't get fancy. It wasn't fancy. A lot of motion. What Texas does is what Michigan needs to do. It shit is simple. It's a copycat league. You know what? Since I can't just throw it down the field like JJ, we don't have that quarterback. Give these guys 4-yard passes, motion. No, we do that. We stick to what we do. If it's not working, you have to try other things. You have to try your hand. You know what? We don't do that. And we stick to the same thing. And we was stacked. We was in the mud, bro. We was stuck in the mud. It was just hard to see at times, man. Very hard to see.
We got my guy Eddie in the queue. I'm gonna bring him up.
Eddie, yeah.
Deal, man?
Gentlemen.
Yo, go blue, baby. Go blue.
It's go blue for life, man. But
always go blue.
For me, it just was the lack thereof of quarterback recruiting the last few years. I think that came back to bite us. We didn't have anybody ready, and they can't all camp. At least I was hearing. Y'all were hearing. It's a competition. Orgy's getting better at throwing. Warren is stepping up. When I saw Warren won the job, I kind of had a feeling like it's gonna be rough, man. Because Warren hasn't really played, and God bless the kid, survived leukemia, hasn't played a lot since high school. Missed years of playing, and now it just seems like to me our quarterback recruiting it came back and bit us. And we didn't get anybody in the portal. Granted, I'm not saying there was anybody really available. And if there were, they wanted the $1 million. We weren't necessarily trying to pay that $1 million for Cam Ward or somebody of that caliber. So, but it just, man, gentlemen, I got to ask y'all a question. With Warren and Orgy, let's just say all things being equal, if Harbaugh was still here, do you guys think it's a better product on the field if we still got Orgy and Warren at QB?
That's a great question. We know Jim was relatively known to be stubborn too, right? He's just gonna go with what he goes with. I don't know if he would have went in the portal. We seen him done that, right? We saw Shea Patterson his first year. He brung in Jake Rudock, so he's known for that, right? If he doesn't like what he sees, let me get in the portal, grab somebody quick. So I really don't know. I think this was more about, listen, we got confidence in what we have here, but you know what? You can have the confidence, but if the product doesn't show on the field, this is what you get, man. And it's bad. It's Absolutely. Not. We got to just be real. It's bad.
Hold on. We got some people in the queue. We're going to get to y'all too in a second. We got 110 people here. We need 110 likes. Make sure you like it.
Yes, sir.
People, let's talk about it. All right, look. I think if Jim's here, it does look a little different. I think it's rough with Warren. I tweeted out we don't have a quarterback. All right.
Facts.
I stand by that. We don't have a quarterback. At this point, we probably could have put we could have put Jayden Davis in there.
I 100% agree.
The game was out of control. It didn't matter. As long as he doesn't get killed, not to throw him out there to get murdered or whatever, but we need to see what you got. because this isn't it. They sniffed out the orgy thing every time he got on the field today. They knew what was coming, and they completely took that away. They have to, if they're going to put Alex Orgy on the field in these types of situations, they have to let him throw it down the field. They have to let him throw it down the field at least once, or stop doing it, because teams like Texas, teams with any sort of, athletes on the field are going to shut that down every time, because when he comes in, what he's coming to do.
And Maize, man, I 100% agree with you. Me and my cousin, we're talking back and forth.
Yeah.
Those were drive stoppers.
They did one on.
We would be going down on a march. It would be 3rd and 4. You bring in Orgy. We already know what they just stacked the box. They know he's not throwing the ball. He's just going to run the ball. It stopped a lot of drives, man. So
no doubt.
But gentlemen, I'm with y'all. I'm gonna keep listening, man. But hey, man, I just say the quarterback recruiting the last few years, and you get Denegal, you recruit Orgy. You don't get a quarterback to have somebody here waiting if JJ leaves. Hey, and this is the product we didn't get anybody in the portal. This is what we get. But and the defense, they were just on the field too much. The defense was on the field entirely too much. I salute them for what they did. It was the second series. I saw Kenneth Grant gas. He was he was huffing and puffing. It was just the second series of the game. But Texas did 2 long drives just to start the game, and it just kept going. Hey, fellas, man, y'all do y'all thing, man.
Appreciate you, Eddie.
Thank you, Champ. Go blue, baby.
Go blue. Next in the queue, we got Cam. Dom, we're gonna get to you right after that. Cam. Oh well, Cam's not in the queue anymore. All right, cool. We got Dom in the queue. Let's bring Dom up. Dom.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Yeah, well, Dom, you said it last week. Hey, you said it.
May I read something to you, gentlemen? I'm going to send it on Monday, if I may.
Go ahead.
This is to President Ono. Okay. I would like to first thank you for this opportunity. In my opinions, the actions and decisions of Athletic Director Ward Manuel have been unethical, questionable, and possibly driven by his own animosity. In order not to take a substantial amount of your time, I'll merely address 2 vital errors in judgment. 1, to permit head coach Moore to assume his duties without having a properly executed contract is shameful and an embarrassment to the prestige of the University of Michigan. Number 2, not to restrain strength and conditioning coach Ben Herbert, who wanted to stay on staff, was incomprehensible. He served as a valuable mentor for instilling the physical and mental toughness that brought so much success to Michigan football during his tenure. Being a Michigan fan since '78, I realized that national titles are rare occurrences. However, what has maintained the loyalty and love of Michigan football for many and me has always been the character and unity of the team, the standard of playing hard and fair, love of your teammates, and always exhibiting class sportsmanship. It took Coach Harbaugh many years and a lot of effort to rebuild the Michigan football program and culture prior to his arrival. The program had lost 17 out of 20 games to Ohio State, was an embarrassment to the Michigan tradition, and as a result, a loser mindset took root. And what took 9 years to restore has been effectively dismantled and sabotaged by Warren Manuel. His mismanagement has become clearly evident early in the 2024 season. The team is undisciplined, lacking in mental toughness, and physically unprepared to compete at the highest level. I believe it improper to request someone's termination. However, I would recommend that you consider auditing Ward Manuel's poor decisions and actions, demand accountability, and work to repair the damage that has taken place. It would be wise to take such measures or risk Michigan backtracking to the abyss that was prior to Coach Harbaugh's return. Thank you, gentlemen.
No doubt. Appreciate that, Dom. I guess we got some upset Michigan fans. We're all upset. Cam, whoever Cam is, fix your connection, bro. You need a microphone or something saying device is not connected. We can't bring you up. I'm trying. It just won't work. We have a Buckeye in the queue. Let's go. What's going on? Tyler Koretzley. I think I'm saying that right. How you doing, sir?
So I want to talk about this supposed defense that you guys had. You guys had no defense whatsoever.
Hold on. I gotta mute you real quick. I gotta mute Tyler real quick. Hey yo, we doing you.
Let him cook. Go ahead. Let him cook.
Don't come on here with that energy. You didn't beat us. Chill. All right, let's go.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Oh, let me cook.
Go ahead.
I've heard all off season about this defense. All off season about this defense. Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Will Johnson, all of them. I haven't heard a damn thing about it all game long.
Okay.
Quinn Ewers destroyed your defense. And guess what? In Columbus, you guys are going to get your fucking asses beat.
Sure, you said that for 3 years. The difference is hold on. Let me cook. No. Listen, the difference is you don't have a Quinn Ewers. The difference is you don't have that old line. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Realize how
Will Howard's a bum. He's a bum. Your old line is trash.
No.
We're not gonna let this digress into this. Hold up.
And let me tell you one other thing.
Be quick about it, Tyler.
Donovan Edwards. I thought he was a big guy, a big game guy. Like, I thought he was going to be the biggest. He said himself that he was going to be the next Walter Payton, the next Barry Sanders. He didn't do shit.
This is Brohio right here. Tyler is Brohio.
No, listen.
No, I'm just being honest.
Tyler
I'm being honest. From what I've seen, your offense is abysmal.
Well, you don't need to tell us that.
The offense is bad. I'll tell you this. You realize this. This is the first Michigan loss since the TCU game.
Well, let's say this.
You on a one-game winning streak.
Because you guys had the fucking guy that was telling you all damn plays.
Oh, yeah? We're 9-0. We was 9-0 without him.
You're gonna find
we were 9-0.
You guys are going to be humiliated.
We were 9-0 without Connor Stallions, buddy. 9-0 without him. Now we're 9-1.
It's all good.
Listen, Tyler. I hope you had answers to the test. Tyler, I hope you enjoyed the 15 minutes of fame, sir.
Yeah, all right. Listen, let them bask in their glory. This is what I'm saying.
It's not their glory, though. Here's the thing.
No, let them. You know why?
Didn't win anything.
Correct.
All
no,
you
listen.
State fans in the chat, Tyler coming up here. You didn't do a damn thing.
So let them. You know why? You know why? Because when Michigan upsets them in November, it's going to be suicide.
Let's not even get that far because we got a lot of stuff to talk about and to work on before we get to November. But at this moment, right, September 7th, 3:51 on this Saturday, the other state has yet to beat Michigan for however many days that is, but at least since 2019, Michigan has not lost the game to that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. Tyler, I hope you enjoyed just 15 seconds of fame. It's over. All right, so look, we moving on. We got my guy E in the chat. Then we got Cam back in the chat. Cam has finally fixed his camera or microphone issues. E, what's good?
What's good, fellas?
What's going on, champ?
Couple things, man. I don't think the season is lost, but a couple things we need to do. Sharon Moore needs to take over the offensive play calling or something, or have more input.
1,000%.
Kirk Campbell is terrible. You look at that one drive, I'm like, we about to tie it up. And then I hate the 2 quarterback system because of a quarterback getting in rhythm. Then you sub them in and then you call a run when they have a double A gap blitz and they stop us on 3rd and 3. And I'm like, that's a drive killer. I look at it like this. If your offensive line is playing bad because they play bad, I mean, it was bad. Why are you in 4 or 5 wides if your offensive line isn't blocking? Your receivers can't catch the ball. I mean, why are you in 4 or 5? I can't recall a Michigan team in 4 or 5 wides that much. That was disgusting. What happened to the unbalanced sets? Those heavy sets, 3 tight ends. That's when we're good because it's ball control. You can let the offensive line get physical. But now I don't know if this is a Kirk Campbell experiment where you want to sling the ball around, but that's not going to be physical football. The physical football, when your offensive line can move forward and they can hit, and then you set up the pass from that, they're 4 or 5 wides throwing it, and it was just disgusting, man. Wink, I think he's outdated. I know he said he was an OG, but it seems like Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter, they added some wrinkles to what he was doing, and he's still stuck in playing Madden Blitz. It seems, I mean, I'm looking at these receivers. It was a whole bunch of quick game.
Yeah.
The stuff that they was doing, it was simple, and I'm like, how are they just running free? Like, he want to have one safety high, man. Like it was no adjustments on there. It seemed like the players were defeated. Quentin Ewers, they look good. They offensive line bullied the hell out of us. Offensive and defensive line bullied up. They look like the more physical team. Yes. I think we're still physical, but it's something about this team, no leadership. Samaj Morgan scored and he's celebrating. Come on, man. Like, I couldn't see him doing that last year. I think we had the leaders and accountability, but you're getting blown out and you're celebrating because you score.
Yeah.
And that was probably against reserves. So, I mean, the culture is slipping, is not the same. But the season could be saved, but Sharon Moore is going to have to make some decisions. And I think Wink and I think Kirk Campbell, they need to be gone next year if he want to save his job, because Jim Harbaugh kind of had that with Don Brown, kind of kept him around longer than what he was supposed to. And it cost him a lot of, years that we could have went a lot further, but he just stuck with Don Brown. So I hope Sharon Moore doesn't do the same thing.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you respond to that first, Maniac.
No. Listen, man, everything you said, champ, was right on point in Q, man. Martindale, he got that Don Brownish in him, man. Like, bro, like you said, Jesse Minter, Mike McDonald, they added wrinkles. You didn't really see. Jesse Minter's defense only got cooked one game. That was the TCU game. Nobody cooked his defense after that. Mike McDonald's defense got cooked, 2 games, the Michigan State and then Georgia, but still did a great job. And Georgia was just better. But this is the bottom line is this. We also got to be realistic. Texas is just a better team, period. That's just what it comes down to. They better than us. Yes, there's a lot of things that they didn't look good. Like you said, if there's a game Michigan can afford to lose, it's this one. It's not a Big Ten game. It's a non-conference against a top 3 team. Texas will be in the playoffs this year, guys. This is a playoff team. Now, luckily, we got Arkansas State next week.
Get Walter out of here, bro.
And then after that, we got USC. When we play USC, we're going to see what this team is really made of. Because if USC does this to us in 2 weeks, bro, the season is officially over.
So look, really quick, I agree 1,000%. But I think this all comes down to quarterback play, and we don't have a quarterback. We have to put the kid in, Jaden Davis, see what he's got at this point, because I'm done with Alex Orji. I'm done with Davis Warren. And if Jack Tuttle comes back off of the infirmary list, I don't want to see him either. At this point, it's Jaden Davis or nobody at quarterback. But I'm not saying that the season is over. I agree with you. We can grow from this. It is a loss to a top 3 team. It sucks that it breaks up so many streaks for Michigan, including the home win streak, right? That's out the window now. Another non-conference team comes to the big house and wins that game. We are now 0-2 against Texas as a university, right? So that kind of sucks too. Really quickly though, some dude named Walter said something about a speech impediment boy. Don't call anybody on the live a boy at all. Number 1, Walter. Number 2, my guy is from the Bronx. The Bronx is in New York. I'm not sure if you know that. That's not a speech impediment.
No.
But I digress. Secondly, because we don't have a quarterback and because we don't have an offense to speak of, it is putting the defense in precarious situations. Now, unfortunately, in this game, like I pointed out, from drive number 1, Texas was moving the football. There was some things wrong with the defense. I blame that on the defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, stop blitzing as much as you do. Stop leaving these guys on islands. I don't think Jair Hill is ready to be on an island with Isaiah Bond. I don't think you know what I'm saying?
For
Hall
sure.
1-on-1 on the end. They're not ready for that. So you have to protect them a little bit, and also we got to get some pressure with the front four. We know that going forward. But if the defense isn't on the field as much, then maybe there's a difference. The difference is when Sharon Moore was calling the offense, we were running the football. There was time of possession. We were keeping it away from high-powered offenses like the other state. Although even if they got their yards, it was all in front of us. Jesse Minter kept everything in front. McDonald started that with keeping everything in front. And with Wink Martindale, it's just a big play opportunity every time. There were times that we got home, even when Quinn, took the knee or took a sack or threw it in the dirt, where if he looks across the middle, that receiver running wide open in the middle. It was a couple times that happened. But I digress. E, I thank you for coming up. We're going to go ahead, let Cam up. He's been waiting for a minute. There's a lot wrong with Michigan right now. And I'm not saying that it's over for the season. I don't believe that, but there's a lot to fix. Cam, was good.
What's good, y'all? What's going on?
What's going
Hey,
on,
man.
champ?
Hey, man, I've been a Michigan fan for the past 40-something years. I'm 50 years old. And if y'all can go back, we always had a good quarterback back in the day. Everybody can say anything when they say about Lloyd Carr. We always had a top-notch quarterback. Now, if you look at it, it's like we only get one every blue moon. JJ wanted to come here because he loved it. But look at all the quarterbacks we had in our backyard and got away.
Mm-hmm.
So by us not having a quarterback, we playing with a walk-on starting quarterback. So you want him to implement the offense, and he can't do it. When the last time he played? Y'all were talking about it last week. He played what, like 2-3 years ago?
Right.
That's when he played. So we putting the shoulders on him, and it's not getting it done. It's really not getting it done. And it was a problem the first game of the season with Fresno State when they was throwing the quick passes, two drop, then give it away, two drop, give it away. And our problem was not on the outside a little bit, it was the middle. It was the middle of our defense that was giving us problems. And we couldn't get home. So
That
what
yeah,
we
man.
we
That more
couldn't get home.
importantly, you when you saw Michigan against Ohio State, even though in 2022 we sacked CJ late in the game, but they were able to get some pressure there, and
Yeah.
the defense held their own. Today, we needed to get on Ewer's ass, and we were unable to do that, man. And shout to Texas O-line. That was a heavyweight matchup, and they
Yeah.
knocked Michigan out. They didn't even go to 12 rounds. They stopped us early in that fight, man.
And the first call that he said about the physicality, we was missing something, and it was Ben Herbert had us ready. You could see it in the offensive line and the defensive line, and it was missing because it started with if you go back in the tape and you look at the Fresno State, the offense and defensive line, you saw the physicality of the offense in Fresno State and the defense of Fresno State, and it came over. And in Texas, we were talking about Texas didn't have a good defense, but what you saw in Texas, they kept everything in front of it. If you notice it now, they doing what Michigan used to do the past couple of years. You keep everything in front of them, you bring
Right.
everything in the middle because that's what everybody is at. And what we doing is we having too much zone, and we blitzing. Our linebackers wasn't there at all. If y'all looked at it, what our linebackers do today? Nothing.
Nothing. In fact, I thought Barham here. This is one thing that stuck out to me early in the game. Barham, yours was rolling out on the throw that he actually threw the touchdown that got called back.
Yeah,
He rolled out to the right, and Barham was jogging behind him. Like, bro,
yeah,
get after it. That
yeah,
really bothered me early in the game. But again, the defense didn't play well today. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the defense didn't play well today. The only person on defense really that was a factor at all was Will Johnson, and that's just because they didn't throw over there. They stayed away from Will Johnson. He made a touchdown saving tackle that they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive anyway. So it really was for naught. But there's a lot of things that Michigan has to fix. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And we need a quarterback. And by the way, since we need a quarterback, I stand by putting the freshman in the game. He should probably start the next game.
Let me ask though, isn't he red shirting? Didn't his family
burn it?
Yeah.
Burn it.
Yeah. He's going to be the starter next year anyway, so might as well put him in. At least now Michigan in the next 2 recruiting classes, at least they got 2 quarterbacks, right? As long as they can stay committed, at least we good. And that's it. Lack of recruiting on the quarterback end has bit us in the ass, like one of the callers said earlier. And it's reality, man. Look, as Michigan fans, we got to say, look, we take this L, we move on. We got Arkansas State next week. That's going to be a win, right? It's about improving. It's not about winning that game. It's improving while you win that game. And then we got USC at home. That is a must win for Michigan at home. USC, because now they get a bye. So they're going to have almost 2 weeks to prepare for Michigan.
Right.
I like to say this, y'all, before I hang up and get off the call. Thank you for having me. But you know what Shamora Moore needs to do now? He need when he go recruit, he needs to tell people, you can start for us. We need your athleticism. We need all the things that you can do. We need it on our team because we don't have it right now. And what you said right there is, I remember you said with the other caller, is people holding accountability. We don't have that right now. All our stars is gone with accountability, and we need toughness now. This is where we can go get it. Go blue, and I appreciate it, guys.
No doubt. Man, I appreciate it. Shout out to Cam. So look, here's the thing, man. I agree with everything that Cam was saying. Michigan recruiting, especially on offense, there isn't a position on offense outside of tight end, which there is no position on offense because I'm sure he's going to the league this year. There isn't a position on offense where Michigan can't go recruit somebody and say, yo, you can start. There isn't really a position on defense because a lot of those guys are going to the league too. Where
80%.
Michigan recruiting can't say to a kid in his living room in front of mommy and daddy, you can start here. Because at the end of the day, who can we lean on offense? Other than Colston Loveland, by the way, who by the way didn't have his best game, but there is nobody on offense Michigan can lean on, period, and they need to get that fixed. I saw my guy Goj in here, and he brought up a good fact. I said that nobody had a good game on defense except for Will Johnson, and really he didn't get any action. But the fact is they didn't need to throw over there. I brought that up earlier in the live too. There was no need to throw at Will. So if we can get everything we want without having to test, the lone person on this defense that may hurt us, why would we do that?
Yeah. And it's
shout out to Walter. My bad. Go blue, of course.
Oh, he was talking about it's cool, champ. I'm respectful. Look, listen, guys, this is the beauty. This is gonna be it's gonna be this season is just not gonna be an elite season for Michigan. If they could get to 9 wins, that's good. Because now the USC game, we don't know. At Washington, we don't know. Oregon at home, we don't know. And then the dirtiest team discussed, the Buckeyes. Those are 4 games where Michigan could lose. 4 games on top of this one. So the season could be 7-5. That's a possibility with the way the offense is. And then what starts happening? Dudes start mentally checking out. Man, I'm going pro. I ain't going hard. The season is done. Now dudes on defense are not going as hard as they should. It happens, man, because why I'm going to go hard when I'm about to make 15, 20 million? Nah, I don't care. So I don't want it to get there. Like a couple of callers mentioned, we don't want to lose, the locker room. Once you lose that and saying that brotherhood, it gets bad, man. But listen, it's a tough loss, man. I don't know. The O-line needs to get better. And I'm just
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We had today. I don't even think we couldn't run the football today, right? It's just that we couldn't stop Texas from, especially in the first half. The first half, it seemed like every time they got the ball, they were in Michigan territory and threatening to score or scoring. So you get behind so much and you have to sort of abandon the run a little bit. And you saw like in the fourth quarter, that second half, basically, we really went away from running the football, period. And the problem was we don't have a quarterback to be able to go away from the run. You know what I
he
mean?
threw
So these
two
games have to
interceptions.
be close.
He
You
threw
have
2 picks.
Yeah,
So
he threw 2 picks today. By the way, both of them were his fault. The first one, he got ricochet. It was behind the receiver, and they tipped it up in the air, got interception. The second one, I don't even know what he was doing there. Like I thought it was a seam pass, but it was well behind the receiver. So at this point, I'm not convinced. I'm not impressed with Davis Warren at all. And I knew this was going to be an issue. I knew like the sentimental Michigan fan was going to get behind him. He's got a great story, no doubt about it. And I wish him health and wealth. However, I do not wish to see him play quarterback for Michigan going forward. That's
correct.
just it, right?
Speaking as a fan, not on the
Speaking as a
personal
fan,
note.
of course,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
nothing personal
right.
at all, because
He's
I
not
think he
the
has a
answer.
great story too. I'm glad that he survived his leukemia, right? Like this has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with being successful on the field, and I just don't see it happening with him. I could be wrong, right? If 4 or 5 weeks from now he could be throwing darts all over the field. I just don't expect that to happen, by the way. And I'd much rather get the young dude some reps. I'd much rather burn that red shirt and let him play than to suffer behind Davis Warren again. Really quick, let's get to some of the stats in this game. Quinn Ewers did what he wanted to do. 24 of 36, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns. He probably could have had more. It seemed like they took it easy on us in the second half, but that's neither here nor there. By the way, juxtapose Davis Warren, 22 of 33, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. The touchdown came late, of course, to Samaj Morgan. Otherwise, he just threw 2 interceptions.
A
And
non-factor.
Exactly. And even with that touchdown, he remained a non-factor. By the way, if you haven't already, like the live, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. But we keep it moving. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Davis Warren, man. I'm one of those people that give him the benefit of the doubt. What I saw today doesn't give me no confidence moving forward. Of course, again, Arkansas State next week, so we kind of expect, Michigan's going to win. It probably won't even be pretty neither, but Michigan to win. It's now USC, right? Because now USC will be his 4th game, Maize man. He has 4 games to get better. If we have elite coaching staff, he should be better by week 4. I'm not telling him to be Heisman-esque, but he should be better. Should be making better reads. Should be making better throws. And they have to put him in better position, man. Better position. So it's just tough, man. So I'm waiting for that USC game. That game is gonna tell me everything. Now, we're not repeating as champions. That's a fact. I just want to see if we're gonna be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that. Things could happen. Jaden Davis could get in there and be the second coming of Tom Brady. I don't know. Texas went vanilla late 3rd. They just wanted to get out of there healthy at that point. I agree. Whether or not it was because they wanted to get out healthy, I just think they didn't want to show the rest of the country their playbook because they had us well in here. So that's that. I put the link back in the chat for anybody who wants to join. My guy Dom is back. Dom was good.
Gentlemen, there's a lot of different things that need repair. And the thing that's most disappointing right now, we could talk offensive line, we could talk blown assignments, we could talk lack of mental, on and on. But what's really concerning to me is Coach Moore, it's like he didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, that isn't working. Let's shift to this or take over the reins. It just seemed a total disconnect among the staff. And I said it before, guys, and I'll check out. I don't want to kill your time. But Ben Herbert, I'll harp on this for the longest. He would have been such a valuable bridge to have for Coach Moore's transition to keep the kids mentally tough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's missing. It's obviously missing. And lastly, guys, I don't know what's up with Donovan. He hits the hole. Instead of bouncing, he's not bouncing and getting the large runs like we're accustomed to seeing. So it's a lot of problems. The key here is each game is practice until November 30th, and all the garbage from other state fans and Michigan State fans, they could just relax because Kirby Smart is really pissed off about missing the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia is going to be relentless, and they're going to punish people. They're going to win the national title.
I agree.
Thank you very much, guys.
No doubt.
Don, always, man. We appreciate you, man. Yeah. So look, man, it's again, man, my fellow Michigan nation, we just gotta be real. We're not a good offensive team. Someone in the chat, him, GOJ, he said it. Michigan does have a championship defense, which is a fact. This is 2017 all over again. 2017 all over again with John O'Corn. Right? Where that defense was amazing, kept us just about in every game. We just couldn't move the ball. And I think that offense was still better than what we saw. So, like I said, man, I'm eager to see how we look on September 21st.
So look, here's the thing.
They beat Georgia Tech. Syracuse beat Georgia Tech.
Here's the thing, and I called this from the beginning, right? Like I thought that Syracuse was going to be good, and Syracuse, if you look at that schedule, they got a chance to play for the ACC championship this year, especially because I thought Virginia Tech would be good this year too. But they lost that game to Vanderbilt. I'm not sure how good they're going to be. That's neither here nor there though. But I want to get to Ripstar has brought this up a couple times. Is Jaden Denegal any good? And if you follow this channel, then in the preseason I was huge on Jaden Denegal. I thought Jaden Denegal was the answer. I was like, yo, we should play Jaden Denegal. But then we had the spring game, and Jaden Denegal looked like what he looked like, and all of that went out the window. I don't even think it's been a conversation about Jaden Denegal since that time. What are your thoughts? Do you think it's worth kicking the tires on Jaden Denegal or what?
Listen, next week, two things is going to happen. Either they're going to stay with Davis Warren or they start experimenting because that's the last game before Big Ten play. And some teams that we thought in the Big Ten that wasn't going to look good this year, oh, yeah, they starting to look good. So this is going to be a rough road ahead for Michigan if this is the offense we're going to see every week. I don't care at this point. You got the season is still there. You can salvage the season. Put any quarterback in. Let me just see what you could do one series. Arkansas State is the perfect game. We're not going to lose that game. Put Denegal in. Put Jaden Davis. Put the popcorn, man, in Section 308. I don't care. Put somebody in, man.
Facts. Let's talk about it. Hey, listen. This is what we should have done. We should have been beating down Kyle McCord's door in the transfer portal. Now, granted, I know this is grand coming from me because I was one of those people that was perpetrating the Honda McCord narrative last year. But that wasn't because he was necessarily a bad quarterback. By the way, even that version of Kyle McCord, the version of Kyle McCord that threw that interception that cost him the game basically against Michigan a season ago is better than every quarterback on our roster that we've seen play this year, which is just Davis Warren and Alex Orji at this time. And I'm not saying that we should throw it around the yard because that's not really Michigan football. My guy Antoine brought up a good point. We need to establish the run. We need to run the football. Orji gives us a great, the best chance at setting some off-pace stuff there. But again, like I brought up, when they put them in the game in these gadget situations, they know what's coming, and it's not going to be a pass. They have to let that man throw it down the field a time or two, or else when he comes into the game, it's going to be for naught.
Correct.
We got my guy Dennis in the queue. By the way, I want to bring him up. My bad, Dennis. I forgot you were there. Here we go.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you clear, champ.
All right, thank you. So I got a couple things. Senegal. I remember last year at the Nebraska game, he got in. He looked good. I don't
Right.
know what happened between now and then, but he looked good then. And then about this Texas game, Texas does have a better team. But if you look, we were running the ball. Like, if you look at our stats, our running backs were getting yards on their defense.
Right.
We just didn't run. We just didn't pound the rock. So we can't take a walk-on quarterback that hasn't played football and be like, yo, go out there and throw it 30 times against a good defense or a top team. That's bad coaching to me. And like it feels like we lost our identity now that we lost Jim Harbaugh. We're trying to come up with
I
something
said that
new.
last week. We have no identity. No doubt, man. I appreciate that, Dennis. And good points, by the way. I said last week, we don't have an identity. This week, we followed that up with the same. We're just nondescript team out there right now with no identity. I agree with what he said too about Denegal looking great against Nebraska. In fact, that's why in the offseason I was screaming Denegal from the mountaintops, because I thought he looked like a solid quarterback. Just his pocket presence and the delivery from the pocket, he was real good in terms of the way he looked in that Nebraska game. I think he threw a touchdown pass in that game.
He did.
Yeah. So I agree with that 1000%. I think it's again, like my man said, put Jaden Davis in the game, put Jaden Denegal in the game, the popcorn man from Section 3, all of them, right? Whoever, we need a quarterback. That's the bottom line. We need somebody that poses some sort of threat, 12, 15, 20 yards down the field. Right now, we have none of that.
And remember, in 2017, also Peters, when he came in, he brought a different spark to that Michigan team. And then he ended up getting hurt in the Wisconsin game where Michigan was step for step with them. That same Wisconsin team, they went undefeated that year till they lost to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. So again, to see that everything else is ahead of us, man. We're 0-0 in the Big Ten. There's time, but it's just not looking good. We got to call it like it is. It's just not. And you mentioned the biggest thing. We don't have an identity. Who are we? Are we Smash Mouth? Are we Pass? Are we RPO? We don't even know what we are.
I agree with this, Kinetic. I do think he lost his chance in the spring game, but at this point, so what? We need something. Shout out to my guy Johnny. I dropped that the link in the chat, Johnny, if you want to come up. Johnny Olden, of course, has his own YouTube channel, the original King in the North, before those, people stole it. But yeah, he said Warren is trash. Absolutely. And I don't want to sound disrespectful and non-empathetic to his situation. I get it. He is a cancer survivor. He's all of those things. But a Michigan quarterback is not one of them. A Michigan starting quarterback, let me say that, is not one of them.
No, you mentioned
Orgy is trash.
Yeah, it's looking, and then Orgy is trash. And what gets worse is, right, these players start to read into this, right? Because the headline Monday is going to be crazy. Everybody's going to have a field day on Michigan, and it's fine. It's expected, and everybody, here we go. You saw that dweeb on earlier. Oh, because you didn't know the play. And I told you what I told you. Once we lose, y'all don't have Connor Stallions. But we were 9-0 without him, and now we lose. Now it's because of come on, man. You got to pick and choose. We know what it is. Michigan is just not a good team. Connor Stallions could be on the team right now, and Michigan wasn't going to win that game today. Bottom line.
I think it's way too early to say he's on the hot seat.
Yeah. We can't put him on the hot seat.
By the way, I can't say he's on the hot seat. Last year, he won the biggest 3 games of Michigan's regular season, right? The toughest. We got a super chat from my guy Dom, who says, hit the like button. Definitely do that. Freaking other state and little bro trolls hereby needs to change his underwear. Shout out to that. But yeah, I think it is too early to say that he's on the hot seat. But he certainly something needs to change. And I know I'm being hard on Kirk Campbell, but the offensive play calling was atrocious. I know, we're being hard on Wink Martindale. The defensive play calling was questionable at best. So yeah, man. My guy Johnny is here. The king in the north. What's good, man?
What's going on, champ?
What up, y'all? What up?
What's good, man? What were your thoughts on the game, bro?
Bro,
it was rough.
It was trash. Like, that was trash. Like,
yeah,
nothing you can say. Offense was trash. I'm getting like a double.
Yeah, no, it's like you're going in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, the offense was just trash, bro. Like, and we expected that it could be like that.
Right.
But what were we hanging our hat on? The defense is going to find a way to help us out.
Right.
Wink, he is trash too, bro.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Don Brown? Is he giving you Don Brown feels?
Yeah, and this is what I said. I just did my video. It's coming up, but
okay.
It looks like if he's not blitzing, he don't know how to call a game.
Amen to that. Tabernacle and all of that. Yeah.
Everybody, the secondary looked confused. The linebackers looked confused. Them dudes looked like they didn't know what they were doing. And remember when Don Brown wasn't blitzing? What did they look? Confused. Just like that.
Right. Yeah, the linebacker play today, I gotta say, was god awful, bro. I did not expect that. We got Barham, we got Ernest Hausman, and both of them were out of place so many times. Yo, they brought it up on the broadcast. It was so many times Michigan was out leveraged. The one touchdown we gave up to the running back, nobody went out. Nobody even shuffled their feet to try to cover that open space. It was
a little Mickey Mouse dump, a 2-yard dump, and that was bad, man. Great elite defense don't give up touchdowns like that, man. And it's
undisciplined for sure.
Yeah, they were. There you go. Undisciplined. That's the key word, right? And we don't know Martindale. He definitely gives me Don Brown vibes, man. Don Brown, and it sucks because there's what 3 potential first rounders in that defense: Graham, Grant, and Johnson. Well, Graham and Johnson is going first round automatic. Yeah. Grant could play himself into a first rounder, and
Barham can play into a first rounder.
Josiah Stewart, Derek Moore, those are all. That defense has like 9 future NFL players on it right now.
Right.
And this is what we do.
And that's why he don't get it. That's why he don't get a pass. The offense, you can see like, okay, they got a new offensive line, whatever this. You expect them to struggle some, but you didn't. Nobody really expected, even the big time ESPN guys, whatever, Joel Klatt. Nobody expected the defense to be like that. This dude is doing stuff like aligning the defense away from the strong side. Like, what are you doing? You expect this man to be a superhuman? Like, what? It's just obvious, basic football. Like, what is you doing, bro? You got Mason Graham lined up at DN on the left side.
I saw that.
That's the best D tackle in the nation. Why would you put him at DN?
And by the way, Sarkisian was out there calling his ass off. I got to give my hats off to Steve Sarkisian. He took advantage of everything Michigan was making mistakes on. And like they pointed out, if Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant weren't in the game, it was easy money right down the gut. And when they were in the game, they were getting on the perimeter. And the fact that Wink didn't recognize what was happening to him was the most bothersome. That concerned me the most.
He looked lost. Like Sark, that was a master class, boy. You talking about you getting out coached?
Right.
That was a master class of what he did to him. But then go ahead.
No, you're right. No, it's just Sark. He's a Jedi play caller, man. He a Jedi. He's one of the best in college, period, man. And he was on his A game today, man. He was on his A game. He made our defense look simple, man. We look like Fresno State defense. So, honestly.
And this is why I was so mad last week. What was I saying, Maize? I was saying you should have played your starters.
Facts.
In the beginning all game so they could work out the clinks. Those are the guys you're counting on. Did Pollard play? No, of course, because he wasn't going to play. So why is he in the first quarter against Fresno when we need to be getting our starters ready to go because they're the ones that the game is going to be on? But y'all flipping them in and out and flipping everybody in and out. Linebackers flipping them in and out. Secondary flipping them in and out. And you needed to iron out kinks against Fresno, but you were worried about the fifth guy on the bench.
Shout out to the mods, bro. Mods are on their job today. I appreciate that. Shout out to
trolls is gonna be out of hand today.
Yeah, it's fine.
God,
Listen,
you know it.
They've been waiting for this for over a year. It's been a long time since us Michigan fans witnessed a loss. TCU in the playoff. So listen, it was going to happen eventually. We just didn't want it to happen.
We had other state fan come up on the live, bro, in the chat, try and go off on him. I had to mute him a couple times, let him know where he was at. First of all, talk to us nice. It's not like y'all did anything. You know what I mean? Don't try to ride the coattails of the other team.
Ohio State fans act like they won the game. Like, bro, calm down.
Right.
Y'all haven't proved anything against Michigan. We got 3 months to get it right when we play y'all.
Let me see.
Shout out to Texas, man. I got mad respect for Texas. I said,
they whooped us, bro. They whooped us. If this was a boxing match, they fucked us up. Excuse my language.
Right.
That's it. I gotta tip my hat. Trust me, Texas will be in the playoffs. But it might be tough because they in the SEC. You got Bama, you got Georgia. But if they don't suffer major injuries to major players, Texas will be in the playoffs. Maybe one loss, maybe two. But that's a legitimate team that could win it all. Trust me. So, and it showed. We're not on that level this year. We're just not. Offensively, at least.
I was looking at what's his name? Sharon a little. Like, okay, it's 17-3 before half.
Mm-hmm.
It's second down, and there's 15 seconds left. For whatever reason, he runs that play. Like, bro, kill the clock. You need to go to the 2-minute warning so we can try to get in the half 17-3 to lick our wounds. Like, just for real. Like, you got to.
Are you talking about the fumble?
I think Loveland fumbled the next play.
Right. Okay, all right.
But you needed to try to kill the clock to get the time. But they ran that play before the 2-minute warning. You know what I'm saying? It changes everything if you go to the 2-minute warning instead of running that play. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. But stuff like that, I look at like, bro. Like,
no, those are the little things. You're right. Those are the small things, man, that matters. Those are the things other people don't see, and you're right. And you saw it cost them, man. You gotta manage that clock. You gotta be smart. Say, yo, you know what? We limping right now. So let's get into the locker room limping. Let's fix that leg so we come out running. And no, we added another hit to the leg. So
exactly.
Time management definitely was questionable today. I think that's a side effect of, he is now the CEO of the team, right? This is his first year, game number 2, spotlight. The college football world descended on Ann Arbor. You know what I mean? And maybe that was he had to suffer these kinds of bumps to understand, going forward. As the head man, listen, Jim Harbaugh came here, wasn't all peaches and cream, right? Wasn't butterflies and roses.
Yeah, he lost his first game. His first game against Utah.
Yeah, he lost. So we got to give him some latitude rather in that regard. But also he's been here, right? He was the coach for like I said, the biggest 3 regular season games Michigan had a season ago. and he got us through that. He outcoached Ryan Day, Crying Ryan, at home last season. In this case though, Sark was ready. Sark was more than ready.
But you know, too, Madman, about last year, those games, what you pointed out, Michigan had an identity at that time. We had an identity. We knew who we were, so we were fine. We don't have that now. And now these are going to be growing pains of a first-year coach. You know, so all we got to do as fans, just support him and just be there for him, because we know it's going to be a rough season. This could be a real rough season. But I'm not going to quit on them. We saw the Rich Ross seasons. We saw the Brady Hoke seasons, with the exception of 2011. I don't think it's going to get that bad moving forward, but this season could be similar to that. It could be that 8-4, 7-5 type season.
No doubt. Shout out to Quentin for the $5 super chat. We appreciate it. He says Bama fans felt the same way after Texas beat them last year. Y'all be fine. Hook 'em. Shout out again Texas fans in here showing some love. I appreciate that, man. And by the way, like I said, we got mad respect for Texas. And you guys certainly look like a playoff team and a team that's going to challenge for the national championship this year.
Absolutely.
The thing that I see is also is with that, Sharon got to be on his A game.
Yes, going forward, we don't have any room for error.
And a lot of the fan base didn't want him anyway, so they're gonna be on his head. So it's gonna be crucial for him the rest of this year to get that offense on check. Like the first couple drives, you know, when they were doing the eye candy, the misdirection type of stuff.
Yeah,
you had to keep doing that to help out your offensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
Stopped it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That offense has to be just that simple. Don't complicate things. Simple plays. We don't need him to throw it down the field all the time. Them simple plays, those eye candy, that's going to open up the run. But once you start doing things you're not strong at, this is what happens, man. Look.
And that's so here's the other part too. I agree with y'all with the eye candy, because Texas was certainly doing that to us. They put somebody in motion, eyes in the backfield. Next thing you know, we doing something else. Sometimes they even threw it to that person, right? Like we saw on the pass to the running back that scored the touchdown. So they definitely did that. I felt like we did a lot of motion unnecessarily sometimes too. There were times where it's just move a guy here and over here. Yeah, a lot of shifting that was going on that was just unnecessary at times. But the dude Austin, he's in the chat. He's brought up a couple times about Jaden Davis and the red shirt. Yes, he did take a red shirt this year. But at this point, I'm saying burn it. By the way, you get 4 games before you have to burn the red shirt. So if we play him next week and he turns out to be, hot garbage, go back to the red shirt, put it back on. But right now, we need to see what we got.
We need to do something.
Yeah.
Look, go ahead, Trent. Go ahead.
Why? This is my big thing too. The off season. If Orgy couldn't throw, it don't take a whole off season to see that.
Right.
So we were in fall camp hearing, because all we get is hearing, because nobody's gets to really see practice.
Yeah.
Why the hell was he splitting reps?
Yeah.
Why were they splitting reps? You get what I'm saying? All those reps that Davis Warren could have had, or whoever could have had.
Yep.
It don't make sense.
And look, up until 2 weeks before the season started, it sounded like Alex Orji was our guy, right?
Correct. And I think
the world made it seem like it was Alex Orji. It was far and away the number 1 quarterback. And then 2 weeks before the season, all of a sudden, we start hearing Davis Warren. Yeah, how he's outperforming. But go ahead, Maniac.
Harbaugh was saying that he's a more polished Jalen Milroe. So I think, the hype, coach is saying Orgy is this, but we see he's far from a Jalen Milroe, because Jalen Milroe, listen, we could say what we want. That dude, he could throw the ball and he's a beast running it. He's a straight athlete. So Orgy is not there yet, man. They got to figure it out, man. They got to figure this shit out, man, because this is unacceptable, man, coming off a natty. And now, those 3-year run we had, we don't want that shit to stop now. Yeah, we're not going to win the natty every year, but at least 10-2, 11-1 seasons should be the norm at Michigan and competing for the playoffs.
At least make the playoff.
Correct. Because right now, we looking like we going to the Pop-Tart Bowl. That's what we looking like against Fordham University.
You got us play. What was it? Burger King Tech.
Burger King Tech, man, or Wendy's A&M.
Wendy's A&M. Yeah. It was rough out there. But again, I gotta, like I said, man, there are a lot of people even in the chat talking about it. We got to see what we got at quarterback, because right now we don't have a quarterback. Alex Orji, even if it's Alex Orji, give him a drive. I don't know. Let's see what he can do for a drive.
I would have liked to have seen him get a drive.
Absolutely.
Actually run that offense that you've been practicing with him, because we know it can't be the same offense.
It can't be. I would hope not.
Give him a drive. This is my problem for real with the Alex and Davis Warren.
Yeah.
And when the game actually mattered, that man, it gave you about 90 yards passing, maybe 100. I don't count that last drive, that garbage time. Texas don't care anymore. I don't count that.
Right.
When the game mattered, he gave you about 100 yards. Alex Orji is going to help the run game, and he's going to give you probably almost 100 rushing yards. Man, come on.
Right.
Yeah, listen, man. It's harsh for us hardcore fans, man. It's tough because it's not about losing; it's the way we lost, right? I think we can all agree with that. It wasn't that we lost; it's how we lost and how we look in that, and it just doesn't. It doesn't really give you a lot of hope. We know things can change moving forward, but that remains to be seen. And luckily, we got Arkansas State next week, right? So we know that's a team that should be a win, right? I don't think we should worry about that. But then we got USC. That's the game. That's the game, because Miller Morse, he looked like the real deal. And they run a similar offense to Texas. They might not be as physical on the offensive line, but they're going to give our defense problems.
Certainly as creative. So look, here's the thing. Next week, we have an opportunity, right, to do the things we're talking about at quarterback, to see what we got at quarterback. Next week, if Jaden Davis gets in the game and plays some quarterback, it's not going to mean the end of his red shirt. If Jaden Denegal, and I know we're going deep now, if Jaden Denegal gets in the game, it's not going to be the end of the world. If Alex Orji plays a quarter of football, just give him a quarter of football against Arkansas State, I'm sure it's not going to be the end of the world. We're going to be able to afford it against Arkansas State. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully is Arkansas State. We should be okay. We have to find the solution on offense. We have to get back to running the football. Today, I think some people brought it up. Today wasn't our worst day running the football. In terms of what we were getting out of running the football. It's just that we got behind, and then you got to abandon the run. And even before we got behind, it just seems like they were abandoning the run sometimes. But even the Don got some. I think he averaged like 5 yards a carry today. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, Khalil averaged like 4. All of them averaged like 4 and above.
They good, man. We got good running backs, man. I think the O-line should get better at, because I remember the 2015 season, Harbaugh's first season, that O-line was having trouble early, man. Then as the year went on, they got better. Michigan went into the Ohio State game 9-2. They only had lost to Michigan State. I don't even want to bring that pun up, and Utah. So Michigan was in every game that year too as well. But look, they ain't gonna beat the dead horse. We'll see. Saturday, hopefully we get it good, and then USC, fellas, that's going to be the measuring stick. That's the Big Ten opener. It's at home, and that's going to really let us know. If USC does this to us in 2 weeks, yeah, we definitely going to the Mickey Mouse Bowl. Absolutely.
It's going to be a long year if they
do.
No doubt, man. Hey, you got to run?
Yeah. I'm gonna go because I got the engagement party.
Yep. No doubt.
Man, yo, My brother, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, champ. All right.
For sure, definitely do that. Everybody here, be sure to. But yeah, yo. First of all, let me say this. Everybody in the chat, mark it down. This is history here. We finally got my guy on the Maize Madman channel. Shout out to Johnny for that. But yeah, man, I've been waiting. First of all, to rock with you for a minute. But we got some work to do in terms of what Michigan is on offense. We know that. Defensively, Wink Martindale has shown me nothing over two games. I'm going to be honest with you. Wink Martindale, we're talking to you, sir. You need to show us something. Kirk Campbell.
Nothing.
Shown me nothing. I think, look, even if it means that Sharon Moore has to go back to calling plays, I'm not saying fire Kirk Campbell. I'm just saying when Sharon Moore was calling plays, we looked a little better than we did these first two games on offense, right?
This is a big. You asking a lot from Kurt, who hasn't been calling plays. So I think Sharon probably should. You need to take this because this is you on the line. Kirk gonna be fine, you know, being a QB coach or whatever.
Exactly.
But this is your head coaching career on the line right here.
Right.
So if I'm you, I'm taking the reins back, similar to what Harbaugh did, kind of like, yeah, you can be the offensive coordinator, but we running the ball. That's my identity. So if I'm Sharon, I do the same thing. Like,
for sure. Listen, they already had you sign your contract in Magic Marker. Don't mess around, lose your job because you try to be nice. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We need to reel it in, right? Establish what Michigan football is. Run the ball, play good defense, keep the ball away from high-powered offenses like Texas. Like my guy brought up, USC is coming to the house in a couple weeks. We need to, make sure we play defense and run the ball, be able to run the ball. I understand that this is an all-new offensive line, but they got to get into gear too. We got to move forward.
And did you see like any play action?
Zero.
Why the hell they had this dude in 5 wide more than I ever seen JJ in 5 wide?
Hold on, like he was good. That's the 5 wide with Davis Warren. And again, man, I'm talking about Davis Warren. Like, I promise you, I'm not being mean-spirited. I understand he overcame a lot, bro. But we are talking about the defending national champions out here trying to win football games, meaningful football games. This isn't about a Disney story. All right. This is real life. We out here.
Yeah.
They really out here. All right. And Davis Warren just is not the answer. It's just that simple.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure another offseason hype guy. Klein at tight end. Another offseason hype guy. Like,
bro.
Have you seen any plays designed for him? Any targets?
Zero. Have you seen? Listen, they talked about we got Amorian Walker back, right, in the transfer portal. I saw him in the game today one time. On that play, Davis Warren ended up getting sacked, so we didn't even get to see it.
One play. I remember the play too. I'm like, okay, they got Amorian in. Like, bro, they used to put him in 2 years ago on the outside trying to get him the ball.
Tell me exactly. If he was in the game 2 years ago with the talent, and I'm not saying we were the most talented at wide receiver 2 years ago, but we certainly had some talent at wide receiver. Some guys that Ronnie Bell,
Roman, Cornelius.
Exactly, Roman Johnson, CJ, right. Certainly more proven wide receiver talent than we have right now, right? And you can't get him in the game, catch some passes. I only saw the transfer from he came in, he made a play, right? He came in, made a play immediately. Number 5, Charleston. Right. And that's the only time we really saw. He came in a couple other plays, but he wasn't targeted again.
Before garbage time, that was the best passing play, a flea flicker.
Flicker, right? Yo,
bro, it's the truth.
Yo, you're not lying, man. It was pretty bad today. By the way, this might be the only thing that gives me some joy today. Notre Dame is losing to Northern Illinois.
Really?
Where is Mr. Campbell and the Dallas fan in DC who was in here talking mad trash to start this live out? Where are you at now? They are losing the football game to Northern Illinois, who has the football as we speak, by the way. This is very interesting.
I need somebody to lose to make
right. Somebody else. Right. Take the shine off us. We need somebody to lose.
Because if and this is the sad thing, if you really pay attention to that game, if they could have did anything on offense, like had some type of consistency somewhere, and if the defense just had some type of pulse, like, bro, this is my question to you. What do you think the score is with Jesse Minter as the defensive coordinator?
Oh,
what do you think Jesse Minter does?
Even with this bad offense?
What do you think Jesse Minter does?
Oh, I think Jesse Minter, I think that score is more in line of 17-6 or something like that, right? Because they certainly don't come out the gate, march down the field, then repeat it the second drive, right? They in the first half, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the first half, they were in Michigan territory every damn drive, it seemed like.
Every third down, they looked lost.
Last year, Michigan led the country in the field position battle, right? The plus minus and over the 50 or whatever. And today it just looked like they were living on Michigan side of the field.
Yeah, they were. They definitely were. And it was kind of shocking to see some of these guys that we've seen. Like, when have you seen Makari Page just getting lit up like that? Like, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, man. I think that was a side effect of Wink Martindale. A lot of guys seem to be out of position today, man. The only person literally who seemed to be in position, and again, they didn't test him, was Will Johnson. And they didn't need to throw over there because they were getting everything they wanted everywhere else.
That was smart, and that's what I was trying to tell Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
Why would you throw at him? Oh, he's not that good. Okay. But why would I throw at him?
Right.
when there's a true sophomore over there that has only played one game. Why would I throw at Will Johnson?
Yeah. Another area of concern for me, Johnny, and let me know how you felt about this. Michigan, especially early in the game, was getting Texas in some third and long situations, some third and whatever, and it seemed like they just kept converting third downs.
Yeah, that was the shocking part. And Quinn made some plays, stepping up in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm Wink, I'm sitting in what I'm in, because some of those weren't blitzes; they were rushing forward,
right?
And then they step up. I'm seeing that instantly, like, okay, delayed blitz.
Yeah.
Delayed blitz up the middle.
Yep.
Because the pass rush is getting there, but their offensive line is doing what they want, giving him a lane to step up into. I'm bringing that delayed blitz. Boom, I got you.
No
because
doubt.
That's what he did basically all game.
No doubt. Shout out to New Life. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you for patronizing the channel, man. And we only here because people like you, we are fans just like the rest of y'all too, man. For sure. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think, like, some things need to be worked out this week for sure, including whether or not Sharon Moore becomes the offensive play caller again. What we gonna do at quarterback? What is our identity? It can't be to go out here and sling the ball around the yard, because we're not built like that right now.
No.
Yeah. So we have to be able to run the football. That just has to happen.
Yeah, and you have to, with the less talent you have, or if your offensive line is struggling, you have to help those guys out. The only way to help those guys out is to have that eye candy, consistently bringing that jet sweep motion, consistently and then giving it to them, so they have to respect it and stuff like that. You have to keep doing it to help the offensive line out, so the defense is second guessing and hesitating. Like, they didn't even do a jet sweep. Bro, you got to get the ball to your playmakers that you have.
Bro,
Davis Warren ain't doing it, so you got to figure out how to get them the ball. Running back screen. You need a running back screen this year. We don't have to do that like Harbaugh. No, you need that screen this year, buddy. You need to be practicing that first thing at practice.
Tight end screen. If you're going to try to Marlon, you can't tell me we couldn't put Marlon Klein in a tight end screen just to try to get him the ball. When a person like Amorian Walker comes in the game, we can't run him on the jet sweep, or at least fake the jet sweep, like you were saying, just to get some things going. I saw Texas was doing that exact thing. They were faking jet sweeps, and then finally they give it to Wingo on the jet sweep, and look what he did. Right?
That's what you do.
So it's crazy, but they kept that sort of, that motion out of the backfield, or, crossing wide receivers and stuff like that. And it was effective, especially against the type of defense Wink Martindale was playing today.
Yeah, the tackling was trash too.
Oh, the worst tackling we've seen since this run, right? And since 2021, worst tackling we've seen by Michigan.
That tackling was soft, and it was trash. Jair Hill, he's all right in coverage somewhat. He makes some mistakes, but
yeah,
open space tackling, garbage. They took him out for a minute because they were going over there.
Yeah,
they took him out, but it's like, if I'm being honest, I would play Amir Hall. I know he got beat on the one touchdown, but that was a dime. Like, that was a dime.
It was.
But I'd play him. I think he's more ready to play and is going to be better for the defense. Now, if you're waiting for the defense for next year, I'd play Jair Hill. But for this year, I'd play Amir Hall. Honestly, he's played too much football.
Yeah, I agree. This is a problem too. All right, both of these guys are right in the backyard of Michigan. CJ Carr, Dante Moore, both came. Dante Moore out of the Detroit area. CJ Carr, of course, his grandfather is Lloyd Carr, and he decided to go somewhere else. But that's neither here nor there. Also, my guy that's committed to LSU now, Bryce Underwood, the best quarterback, best player in the class. And none of them went to Michigan. Right. And I get it. Michigan isn't necessarily known for pitching the ball around the yard. But, dog, we had a second chance with Dante Moore. He would rather go be the backup in Oregon than come to Michigan, where he was damn near guaranteed to be the starter this year. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of the problems.
Yeah. And if you don't, with this new college football, with the money, plus it's college, so these dudes want to put up the numbers. They want to be able to throw it all over the yard and put up numbers, be a Heisman finalist, or get a shot at it. It's trying to play like we play. It's gonna hurt you with the quarterback. I know they got what's the name, the dude, what's the tall white kid that's committed.
Oh, Brady Hart.
Brady Hart.
Yeah,
but
got the best name in Michigan history, basically.
Exactly. But for if you don't find one of those dudes like that, and you don't want the quarterback situation to be all right, like JJ was. All right, we got JJ, and we ain't got nobody since. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you got JJ, you should have had another one behind them and had another one. You want to stockpile those guys because you might have 4 dudes and 2 of them might be garbage. 3 of them might be garbage. You don't know.
That's what the best universities do, right? Alabama would have, quarterbacks waiting in the wings. Even the other state, they do that. They have. Listen, right now they got Will Howard. They got Devin Brown has been on the roster for years now. He was a 5-star coming out, or 4-star, whatever he was. Julian Sand, 5-star recruit now. They got out of the portal from Alabama. Yep. So they have Aaron Nolan is on that team. So they have guys. Now, granted, if Michigan holds on to the quarterbacks they have in the 25 and 26 class, they got Both of the guys are actually out of Florida, but to pair with Jaden Davis, who was a 5-star at one point, that is on the roster now. Brady Hart's coming in 26, so those things, it's going that way, but these are the things that have to be done. Look, this is my guy, Johnny Olden. Be sure to check out his channel, follow his content. Hilarious. He does the lives way more often than I do them, and they're all hilarious, by the way. I got to get you back for sure. We're gonna do some work here for sure. You also do the work on A House Divided, who has a great channel too. Be sure to subscribe to them. They try and get their numbers up too. Great channel over there. Michigan fans, stay together, go blue. Shout out to my guy Goj too. He's a fan of the other state, but he's okay. Mello as well. Shout out to Mello. But yeah, man, follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. We gonna hopefully we figure this thing out next week. Johnny got a video dropping. You got a video dropping. Is it tonight? Today?
My instant reaction was probably it should be up now.
Okay, cool. Check out his instant reaction. Until next time, stay angry.